Hi everybody, this is Black Runner Ranger. Keep in mind, by the time I posted this animation commentary, I have moved back to Malaysia, but I have recorded it while I was still in England. Anyways, our next stop is the Double Dragon Decade, a three-part animation I did to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the one and only Purple Dragon himself, Spyro the Dragon. And of course, the Spyro I'm using is of course the based on the Skylanders version, but I've also included some classic Spyro characters inside as well. And this was a big project because not only does it have almost every character from Skylanders evolved, I also wanted to experiment on different art styles. Originally, I wanted other people to collaborate in this and have animation scenes and have them do some animation scenes, like have them do some moments where the characters are based on different art styles, like have one person animate a scene where everybody looks like a superhero, like in a similar vein to the DC animated universe, like Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, and Justice League Unlimited. And another one where it's super cartoony and over the top, and a similar level to Looney Tunes or whatever is made by Tex Avery or Chuck Jones or any of the classic Looney Tunes or MGM cartoon characters at the time. Even early days of Walt Disney, the 1920s Walt Disney. Another scene was supposed to be based on the paint on grass, where it looks like a moving painting, but unfortunately for that one, I myself could not do it, and nobody else could do it, so that bit got scrapped. And the other moment was based on anime, where I have characters designed more like anime, do some anime fight scenes, choreography, the shocks and reactions, several tropes from anime, etc. And then I also going to have one particular scene where it was purposefully badly animated, as in a similar vein to how South Park is animated, how Legends of Chamberlain Heights was animated, how 12-ounce Mounts was animated, etc. And one more particular scene was to have it in the style of whatever the person wants it to be designed. Like anybody wants their style to be in any way, shape, or form. And that's the only one that actually managed to be succeeded by somebody. The rest was all animated by me, except for one particular moment. And anyways, without further ado, let's go with the commentary. So Spyro is about to get half a day off, and this guy over there who looks very familiar with a very strange mustache, and Spyro's like, what happened to the other guy? Well, he was sick. It's an old style phone, and another old style phone. That over there, that cake over there, that was from Chowder. Excellent. My plan is working perfectly. It looks like I know who this is. Now here's something you should know. The logo part, it wasn't all done by me. Some bits are, you see that logo was taken from the Legend of Spyro logo, I think. The Skylanders in something. Now this logo, I actually requested somebody to make me this logo. It was from a fan of mine named Travis the Dragon. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And he's been a great help to me. Also a great fan of mine. Anyways, you see, directed by Black Runner Ranger. Also, keep in mind that those logos, Toys for Bob and Sonic Games Vicarious Visions, they're all outdated logos now. Toys for Bob has a different logo, and Vicarious Visions is no more. They are merged as Blizzard Albany, and even Activision, and even Toys for Bob has gone independent. More names will be included in the credits. More powerful than dinosaurs. And the song I chose is based on the DuckTales theme song. I call it Dragons. And I was using the 1987 version of the DuckTales. I didn't I was familiar with the 2017 one, but I was more familiar with the 1987 one, the one I grew up with. Yes. I'm once I'm almost finished with the 1987 DuckTales show. By the way, I just gotta watch at least 35 more episodes of that one, and then I'll go to the DuckTales 2017 one. It's all available on Disney Plus. It's the same thing I did with He-Man. I first watched the 1983 cartoon, its sister show She-Ra Princess of Power from 1985, and later I went to watch the 2002 He-Man show, the one that has Cam Clark as He-Man and Gary Chalk as Man of Arms. And then later I went with the 2018 She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, the one where She-Ra goes goo-goo over Catra instead of the original where she goes goo-goo over Seahawk. And then, yes, after that I went to take a peek at He-Man, Masters of the Universe Revolution, and Revelation and Revolution. And yes, I am that insane. Anyway, Spyro comes back home and he's like, "Surprise! Happy birthday, Spyro! It's a double decade for you." And all the Skylanders are there. This is actually one of my favorite collaborative works where I asked as many people to voice as many characters I want for them to voice. It's almost every classic character here is voiced by a completely new character, with exception of Hunter. Everybody, in fact, also I redesigned the characters to be a bit more like if they would fit into Skylanders. For example, Hunter over here has the Robin Hood-ish look, and Sergeant James Byrd has rocket pads on his shoulders, and Sheila has boxing gloves. And I also gave them their own different elements, Skylandery elements. Hunter's life, Sergeant James Byrd is air, and Sheila is earth. Okay, and Bentley is water, Ancient Nine is light, and Blink is dark. Now, and I also gave Bentley a more spikier club and some snow to throw at, and Ancient Nine's power. He gets his power through solar panels and a laser ray thing. And Blink has got night goggles and, of course, but he's also got his bombs and shooters from A Hero's Tale. Now, originally I was debating whether or not I should have Blink as either sounding more grown up or have him sound like his younger self in A Hero's Tale, where he was originally voiced by Tara Strong, using her boyish voice as like with Ben Tennyson. But in the end, I decided to just have him silent completely, like he's just winking, that's all. You see, thumbs up. So what brings you here? So basically, the only reason why the characters are here just for food. And Blinky just shrugs. Figures, it's always about food, that's all. You think? Okay, just some talking, just nothing but talking. At least it delays the film for a bit. And there's also... Now over here is the cameos of Donkey Kong and Bowser and other characters. Now here's a little fun fact. Donkey Kong and Bowser, they did appear in Skylanders. They did appear as in Skylander Superchargers on the Wii, Wii U, and 3DS versions. And they get their own vehicles and stuff. Hence why they attended the party. Diddy Kong is also there because he is a part of Donkey Kong's Soul Gem and part of the Barrel Blaster when Donkey Kong supercharges it. Koopaling is here because he's also part of Bowser's... A Koopa Trooper is here because he's also part of Bowser's abilities. You can summon him with his attacks. Kirby's here because he alongside Star Fox over here, they were supposed to appear in Skylander Superchargers. They were candidates to guest appear in Skylander Superchargers, But a bit of a rights issue with not just Nintendo, but HAL's laboratory prevented that from happening, and Nintendo was planning a new Star Fox game. So they decided to cut him off. So they had to have Donkey Kong and Bowser. Peach is nowhere to be found, by the way. Probably should have included her some way because she was also planned. In fact, she was originally planned to be a warrior. She was always supposed to appear in the game, but as a warrior princess. Like, she was supposed to have a magic elemental sword, maybe a magic sword or something like that. But the Nintendo told her no because they had a bit of a restriction on humans. And they also said this would be completely out of character for Princess Peach to wield a sword and be all badass and stuff. Keep in mind, this was in 2015. This was before 2023 with the Super Mario Bros. Movie, where Peach becomes a bit more kick-ass, and she wears a biker suit and stuff like that. And there's a lot of angry incels complaining about Peach taking care, having the able to take care of herself instead of being the typical damsel in distress. Anyways, oh, there's little sparks over here. And then they go to a point where they do these speeches. The reason why I gave Lightning Rod a speech is because he had Spyro in his backstory. And hear the other Skylanders. Voodoo, of course, is not very impressed. Stump Smash and Zep. And of course, Lightning Rod complains about his vanity as always. There's Cinder bringing up her speech stuff. Everybody is just there. Sometimes I cheat a little bit and just have pans and focus on other characters not moving. Uh-oh. It's the pop music thing. Let's see what reactions. See, Trigger Happy's about to shoot at Cinder. Hex got her ears covered. Pop Fizz's ears bled so much he got cut off, so he had to bandage himself. And Jevek is looking at Broadway musicals of the 1940s. That was from Avenue Q, the song If You Were Gay. I don't know why, I just love to tell a lot of jokes like that whenever Jevek is involved. I apologize, I probably should stop. Yeah, why don't you save that, why don't we save that for Cinder's birthday? And Rhino's like we ever attend. And everybody's recovering back to normal. And you say, is that a spider over there? This is referencing to the metalback spiders from Spyro 1, where these are probably a lot of people's worst nightmares over those spiders. In fact, the spiders in Classic Spyro are actually a bit scary. But the metalback spiders from Spyro 1, they're the worst offenders. Not only are they super scary-like, they're also nearly invulnerable. The only way to defeat them is to super fire and to supercharging. And it's just a ladybug. Good thing Twilight Sparkle and Willow Park are not here. And no wait, it's just a spider. It's just a ladybug. And then Spyro just hovers down. Now Pop Fizz and Jibba, they're trying to see which one, who's got a... they're about to give up a speech. It's like, nope, after you, no, after you, no, after you, no, after you. Now, I think this was based on, I think I got this idea from Ice Age 4, Ice Age 3, where Crash and Eddie were trying to say, well, who goes first? Why didn't you go first? No, ladies first, age before beauty, no pain, no gain. What pain? And then he slaps him. To be fair, that's one of the very few funny moments from Crash and Eddie. So this is Stealth Elf. She does the racing thing. That was from Imaginators. Pie eating contest and cracking each other's nose. I think this is based on their relationship in Skylanders Academy and Imaginators. Please, how unladylike. My kind of sport. Girly girl versus tomboy, am I right? Anyways, over here we have Gilgrunt. He's about to sing, and Trigger Happy nearly eats himself, and Eruptor gets the most. Thankfully, I just cut that off. Now, you could say, even though he's depicted as a terrible singer in the books as well as the games, I do try to have him legitimately sing in some areas, like when I did a parody of Paint the Roses Red or We Are the World. So after so many speeches, Trigger Happy was nearly sleeping, and Chopper, he's just flying. And now Rupto's about to give him a speech, but Trigger Happy's interrupts. That's right, he is the first to open this little gift. So Spyro opens the gift, and it's the reality alternator. It changes reality in any way. You could say this is foreshadowing. Crash Bandicoot 4. It's About Time, where you have these inverted levels where it's completely different styles and stuff. Like everything's black and white, and you spin to get some color, or it's all sketchy and reversed or pixelated, something like that. It's dinner time. And dinner's already served. Here's Riptide, Old Chubby, and Rollerball. You could say she looks like she's got a little somebody coming. Yeah, I feel so. The Boomer and Slobberjack are stuffed, and Ghost Roaster. He looks like he looks like he hasn't eaten anything, but yet he says he has eaten a lot. There's some foods that haven't been eaten yet. If you recall, Zulu's pets are ghostly spiritual beings, so how the heck are they supposed to eat all this? Is Trigger happy? And he just grew a torso. Not only is he fat, he just grew a torso. Yeah, he's so sad. I'm never gonna eat cake. But it's tradition for all cake to happen, yeah. Yeah, here's a funny fact. Here's a funny thing. For anybody who has a birthday, do any of you feel full after that big feast that you just want to skip the cake, or no, don't bother with the cake? I can imagine it can happen to some people. Sometimes it happens to me on some of my birthdays. Anyways, here's the cake. Here's Bad Breath delivering. And Spyro looks at the cake, and he's amazed. Now, originally, this cake was supposed to be in 3D. I was originally going to try using Adobe Photoshop and try and do a 3D cake thing, and have the cake spin around for a bit. But it was proven to be too much, and I was not very patient with the rendering and stuff. So I decided to scrap that altogether. I probably could have done it with the Spore. But never mind. Now, usually, in every animation I always use an ice cream cake, because even though back then I didn't eat ice cream cake, I thought it looked pretty good, so I would keep doing it until I finally got my hands on some ice cream cake. Now that I had tried it, it is very delicious, but it can be a bit more headache-inducing than regular cake, because and not because it's ice cream, brain freeze and all, but sometimes I would grow even more zits on my head, and they would be very throbbing, very painful. That I have to sleep. That sometimes the headaches the pimples would be so sore it could cause me a massive headache. I'd have to take a lot of pills, drink a lot of salt, or even have to sleep on it. And I couldn't continue because I felt so ill with this headaches and stuff. And that's why I'm mostly on a keto diet, because sugary stuff gives me a lot of pimples, especially on my head. And so for this occasion, instead of an ice cream cake, I just have used a regular cake with just regular frosting. And Chopper over here, he makes a Pinkie Pie from My Little Pony reference of creamy frosting. Creamy frosting. So, let's cut the cake, fellas. Don't mind if I do. And then he's about to slice the cake in the most dramatic way possible. But before he can do so, somebody's ringing him on the phone. Phone call, says Bad Breath. Hello, Spyro's is on his birthday. Now the sound effect I used was from an old toy I got from England, where it records a Darth Vader-y type of sound. You know the. And this is me attempting to have a character breathe. Maybe I could have done it a lot better. He's coming! Somebody do somebody! Somebody grab somebody! It was so random. And in fact, I have Boomer grabbing onto Lily. Wait, let's go back for a minute. He's coming! Somebody grab some pony! Admittedly, that was very random. Boomer grabs onto Derpy, Ghost Roaster grabs onto Lily. Dino Rain grabs onto the Pooh Brain Horse from Adventure Time. And Voodoo says I'm more into zebras than horses. And funny enough, there actually is a zebra who appears later. Zecora on Zook. In fact, fun fact, I actually, in one of my Skylanders My Little Pony crossover animation videos, I think I had Zecora play Zook. And over here we have Slam Man with Flurry Heart and her whammy, the snail. And a random star butterfly cameo. First of all, I'm not a pony, and secondly, you're not supposed to be here, star. And also, that is not a pony you're carrying. But to be fair, it is cute. It's a reference to Tara Strong. I would have included Twilight Sparkle, but I think this is cute enough. We fought him before, and we can do so again. This time with strategy. Here's what we're gonna do. So basically, they have fought him before. I mean, have you read the Return of the Dragon King comic? So here's all the Skylanders. They're all preparing for, and some are hiding in the bushes. Did a radio effect using Audacity. It's like, Spyro the Dragon, are you all here? Over here, sometimes this keeps changing, so representing something. Like here, Spotlight and Bratcloud. I think they're a cute couple together. Wait, I think I see something. It's coming from the bushes. And Ripto does the Shining reference. Here's Ripto. Be a Ripto. And see, everybody's angry towards him, including the ones in the background. Now I am the greatest. I float like a dragonfly and sing like a wasp. It's like float like a butterfly, sing a from Muhammad Ali. Yeah, I thought Chaos was closed-minded. Yeah, you might want to step. I think not. I'm going to stay right here. Right. And then suddenly he appears. Everybody's chewing their nails. Malefor. Yep, the big bad dragon himself. Malefor, looking like his Skylanders comic counterpart. The one where he looks so robotic and stuff. Now, let's see. Where's the second? Now, this was originally supposed to be a full movie. I was supposed to release it as a full movie, but because of how long it took me to make it, I decided to separate it into 2 or 3 parts. Alright. And the second part would later be done on April of 2019. So here's the animation. It's an ad. And it gave me more time to work on some scenes I wanted to do by myself because nobody else was interested in doing. Originally it was supposed to be about 10 minutes long, but because of how much dialogue I recorded, it ended up being about over 30 minutes long. The phoenix has risen from its ashes, says Eruptor, and Sunburn is like, yeah, been there, done that. And Cameo's just reading To Kill a Mockingbird. So the supercharger's geared up to Ted. So Fiesta does the music, Dive Bug deploys a bomb, and his tongue is like acting like a cartoon. Spitfire did a fiery shield around that extra shield. He coats it with rock. Actually, I think maybe I should have had the rock first and then the fire, because if you cover the fire, it goes out. I think because there's not much oxygen. The storm blade whirls around it. Thrillipede has a volt coating vine pod. Splat has a rainbow coloring. Sorry if I'm giving people seizures. And then there's Nightfall and Astral Blast, and they do a dark ray and a bright ray, and it creates a bit of a yin yang. And finally, High Vault gets an extra charge on the shield, but accidentally disrupted the entire shield. There's Dark Spyro at the back. Uh-oh. What are I gonna do now? There's Flame, who is a... or was it Flavius? Is it Flame or Flavius? It's Flavius because he looks like the Fire Dragon, a scrapped version of Skylanders Spyro, or he might be Flame, but in his Skylander look. You know, Flame's from Spyro Hero's Tale. You can even play as him. Bring out the big guns. No, the other big guns. I think I should have said, bring up the BFGs, and Trigger Happy's like, with great pleasure. I said, no, as in our big friendly giants. It's like, oh, okay. So now this was before I knew anything about Doom. The most I knew about Doom is through the Nostalgia Critics review of the Doom movie with the BFG, the Bio Force Gun. So then the giants appear, and Spyro presses the alternate reality thing. It's the characters, they all look like superheroes. Humpback looks like T-Rex looks like Superman. Thumpback looks like Captain America. Crusher looks like Thor. Swarm looks like Batman. Arbor looks like Hulk. All the giants except T-Rex are voiced by somebody else. T-Rex is voiced by me. Ninjini's like Wonder Woman. Hothead is like a Flash, and Bouncer's like Iron Man. Originally, this was going to be done in a comic book style, and I would use the Justice League episodes as a basis for how to make the characters look like they came out of DC animated universe. I was going to have T-Rex looking a bit more like Superman, how Bruce Timm draws Superman, and how he draws. That was the idea, but never came. I have the still picture of it on my computer. If you want, I can submit it. So next stop is the Swappers. So it's their alternate reality gizmo thing. They're all transported to the world of cartoony characters. As you can see, Blast Zone and Washbuckler are based on Patrick and Squidward from SpongeBob SquarePants. Trap, Shadow, and Magna Charge are based on Garfield and Odie. As heck, why Magna Charge as Odie instead of somebody like Orson? No idea why. Freeze Blade and Firecracken as Ren and Stimpy. By the way, this is not the only time I've done that. I've also done this on as a still image before. Hoot Loop as Woody Woodpecker, and Boomjet as Felix the Cat, the inspiration for Sonic the Hedgehog, and probably Mickey Mouse. Nightfall as Casper, and Freeze Blade as Free Ranger as Popeye, Rebel Rouser and Doomstone as Ed and Eddie from Ed, Edd and Eddy. Spyrise and Stink Bomb as Elmer Fudd and Pepe Le Pew from the Looney Tunes. And Rattleshake and Grillatrilla are all based on the 1920s Mickey Mouse art style. By the way, and also Spike. Milo Foal is looking a lot like Spike from My Little Pony Friendship Magic. Oh, and here I am doing some animations. Now I often have myself upstairs in my room in Malaysia because I like I said, I often have to take care of my grandmother who was suffering from dementia at the time, and we took turns on taking care of grandma. But then in 2020, me and my parents had to be the full-time carers for grandma until 2023 when she passed away. So here I am doing a bit of a fourth wall moment. There's my Nintendo Switch there, and Rattlesnake. Even I forgot to include that rattle, but maybe it's just to keep the drawing thing a bit more consistent and make it a bit more simple yet super fluid. By the way, there's a batik painting of one of my mascots, Cool Croc. That used to be one of my mic stands, but then it got broke as a result of moving stuff, so I had to get myself a new mic stand. Anyways, I was just reacting to how's my acting, fellas? Here's everybody walking around, as you can see. So how's everybody like? I can see Spyro is running like kind of running like not quite. I'm not sure how Elmer Fudd really runs, but I remember him looking like that when he backs away when it was Elmer season. Be very, very quiet. We're hunting Elmers. And and Trap Shadow Garfield, he's just lazy, relaxing. Popeye Free Ranger, he's carrying him on his back. Night Shift, he's just floating. I mean, Casper floats as well. Magna Charge Odie, it's just his head. Stink Bomb Pepe Le Pew is hopping just like Pepe Le Pew do. Some of them are just tweening and stuff, like Hoot Loop, Woody Woodpecker, and Squidward Washbuckler. Rubble Rouser Eddie, he's doing that tongue thingy like Eddie does when he's running. These two, I think, are just reused, just and tweened a bit. And they're running, and he's clinging onto his life. I'm trying to make it a bit more Rem and Stimpy-ish. And then there's Doomstone as Ed, and he's running like how Ed usually runs. Now keep an eye out for Gorilla Drilla. See what happens. He got flung off by Rattleshake. Now, because I didn't have time to animate the effects, I just used a bound, proud, kabam, geesh, bam, boom, bam, bam, just like that in a fight cloud. You know, a lot of cartoons, they have fight clouds. I mean, look at the Loud House. Look at Animaniacs with the good feathers parts. Even My Little Pony with its actions and stuff, they also had some fight clouds. And all the swappers there without their bottom half. Some of them have different ways. I mean, Washbuckler is struggling. Blast Zone is apart. Magna Charge's ears are drooping. Rubble Rouser is accidentally eating Doomstone. It seems a little something that's out of the ordinary. I got that idea from a Potter Puppet Pals episode where Harry Potter keeps teleporting and stuff, but he accidentally teleports over Ron's head. And the Spyro, Firecracking, Villager, and Boomjet are all tied in a knot here. Stink Bomb and Trap Shadow are acting like a cat dog or an Amphisbena. Rattleshake is having his head buried, and Nightship's totally flattened, and Freezeblade, he's got the iron butt. That was reused from my Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. Sorry, it's a bit of a baby cry. That's my new nephew. So next up is the Trap Masters. Now, like I said, I was originally supposed to have this part with the paint on glass art styles, but again, I didn't have a lot of time for that. So I just had a character do this instead. I had the Trap Masters in Paris having their portraits being painted. And here's Bullseye, the scrapped version of Snapshot, showing a picture. Everybody's like commentary. I mean, because like I said, art represents a lot of emotion. Then people have their own perspective of the painting. Does it look good? Does it make you feel something? Art is about for feeling, really. You can't really think about what other people are thinking, but never mind. Malafar is like attacking. Looks like they have no choice. They can't take the painting back. We have to. So they all teleport themselves away from Paris. And what was the painting? That's the painting. Getting it was done by a fan of mine. Now, like I said, because of the timing, I couldn't do this part with the alternate reality. So that one painting was the only way I can do that scene. So here's all the trap masters doing the pause. Here's the ranger ones, the ones that range weaponry. They start attacking, and then there's some others. Like Gear Shift is doing the ring around the roses thing, as Jawbreaker is just hitting. The swordsmen are doing this, and some of them are kissing. They charge. They're cutting him like an axe. It's like a shortcut wasn't doing anything at battle. He's just doing that cutting thing. Hold it, fellas. I think that's enough. Uh-oh, it seems all the Traptanian weapons are broken. Oof. So, who's next? The Senseis, I believe. Now, this one is one that I showed this to my sister, and she really liked what I presented because she was a bit of a fan of anime, especially with Tsubasa. In fact, I used Tsubasa as one of my primary inspirations for this scene, alongside Pokemon, Digimon, Dragon Ball, and several other animes I was familiar with. Like I said, I didn't watch a ton of anime, but I did understand some of its basics and its basic cliches, like the talking, but their mouths are not syncing, the shadows, the eye highlights, and also the lower frame rate. Usually when a Western cartoon, they're animated in 1s or 2s. Anime is usually animated in 3s or 4s. And the Japanese singing tri-tip over here, it was actually from one of Weird Al Yankovic's songs. You know that Jurassic Park song? Jurassic Park is frightening in the dark. All the dinosaurs are running wild. That was actually, he actually did a Japanese version of it, believe it or not. And it's available on online, but it was also available in the Medium Rarities album, exclusive to the Squeeze Box compilation. And the tri-tips was looking like a Digimon. That's the only Japanese part I included, along with the background music that's in Japanese. Nobody else was speaking Japanese. I probably should have done so. I mean, Jellystone had a moment when Huckleberry and Yogi Bear were speaking like Jin, and Heihachi from Tekken. Not sure if there's the same voice actor. I don't think so, but that's what it reminded me of something. And Malifaux was looking like that Chinese or Japanese dragon from Dragon Ball. And Buckshot was looking like that goat Pokemon. And Pit Boss is looking like Ekans. Now Flare Whoop's design was designed by a fan of mine named Chelsea Catgirl. She gave me an idea of how to draw a Flare Wolf of looking like that. And these over here, they were designed based on some chibi animes. The same with Chopscotch. Chain Reaction was also based on Kirby, by the way, and the way Kirby was designed. And she was like, and of course, if you know, a lot of women in animes are designed to be super pretty. I think that's why a lot of animation fans prefer anime over Western animation, because of how gorgeous some of the women look. And nowadays, we're seeing less of that in Western animation. And a lot of women characters nowadays are becoming a little bit more, how do I say it properly? Less objectified, let's say. While Japan, they kind of strive on something like this. Not always, but most of the time. So over here we have Robo. Now also, to get the right anime effects, not only did I take notes from several animes, I also went down and brought some of my Skylandery figures and looked at them properly to get some different, to give off some good details. Like give them the details, make sure the details are fine. I mean, most animes had a lot of great details on the characters. Yeah, so I was like, no wonder they usually animate in just threes. They don't want to redraw the characters over and over again with so much detail and stuff. It's not like the Looney Tunes where they're very simplified that you can just redraw them over and over again just to make them move a bit more lively and stuff while they still look very simplistic. Here for anime, you have to keep redrawing. Imagine how much time and stuff you have to keep redrawing on the animes with the details and stuff. It must be very hard. And also, this is one of the few times I had to have at least most of them have 5 fingers instead of the usual 4, like for Skylanders. Usually, every Skylander has up to 4 fingers, but in this occasion, I'm alright with including a 5th. And and this is coming from a guy who usually likes to draw 4-fingered characters, especially on shows and movies that usually have 5 fingers, like much of Marvel, The Owl House, and Mortal Kombat, etc. And the reason why I was really interested in the 4 fingers thing was with the Superhero Squad show, where almost every Marvel character was drawn with up to 4 fingers. So you're probably wondering, where are the minis? They're on vacation, and they stole the Skylanders vehicles. Wait, they're a little too young, right? Oh, you are a naughty dragon, Spry. And you're even a naughtier dragon. And, you're even a naughtier dragon, You're even a naughtier dragon, Breeze. And Drobit is looking at a wanted poster. Looks like the Krampus is out and about again. Will he return? I don't know. And Petvac was roasting a little hot dog on Wee Raptor, and Small Ride just dropped his ice cream. Now, the reason why I didn't have the minis fighting because I was struggling to figure out what to do with them and how would they play a part in attacking Malefor. Do they assist the Skylanders? Do they have their own art style? Is it more like baby crayons? I was like, you know what? I think I'll just remove the minis. I think the minis won't play too much of a part. Now, here we come to the final of the 3 parts. Now, this is the one I was this is the part I was really excited to finish off. And it truly pays, and all my hard work really paid off. I am very satisfied with it, for the most part. And here's all the villains, all the trappable villains, every single trappable villain from Skylanders Trap Team, all in the lineup. Some are floating, some are just floating there. There's even Juju Jr. There are the 2 Chaoses. One is regular Chaos and one is his clone. Now, in case you're wondering which Chaos is which, I have them based on 2 things. The real Chaos is the one with the black markings, based on his Skylanders The Beginning self. And the clone of Chaos has the blue markings. This is based on the Chaos we all know today, in the final games. Chompy, see, there's even the Nightmare villains like Berto Chesterfield and Olaf. There's the Supercharger trappable villains like Mesmeralda, Glumshanks, and even Dragon Hunter on the Scalebiter. There's even a cameo of Noodles. And there's Vathek and Captain Dreadbeard and Armor Chompy Seat Mage, the Cauliflower Kid, and Chaos's mother. I probably shouldn't include Chaos's mother because I had her in a later episode or something where it kind of contradicts, because I'm going to have her in a later episode which kind of contradicts. Just pretend she's not there. Just pretend she's not there. Or I might have to redo that script part. Wondering what to do with... So all the villains over here, they're just ready to attack. They just say their random things. Like Mesmero says, want to see a puppet show. So oh no. And So now here comes the big one. Let's see what transformation this happens. Chaos is looking like something out of South Park. So this is what I did. I actually used the South Park creator and did some rotoscoping over the scenes using the tools, the things, and the colorings. I even used the South Park creator's coloring system to do some of my own colorings. And I also included a symbol of chaos from... it was also imported from the thing, and I also drew it as a vector or something. This bit was just stolen from the Skylanders website. Like I said, the villains here are all badly drawn, badly animated, because it's to, not only because they're bad guys, it's to reflect on some animation that's badly made. But some say it's not too bad as long as it's well written. I mean, they say South Park's bad animation gives off a bit of its own character. Over here we have Pinata looking like how South Park depicts a Canadian. Eyebrow Dreamcatcher is without a mouth and nose. Golden Queen is just roughly drawn, is not even colored. Dr. Crankface is just a stick figure. Gulper is the cheese. He's the best character on the show. He is better than both the salami and the bologna combined. Nightshade over here is based on the Dolan meme where Donald Duck looks so creepy and poorly drawn and also creepy. Chompy Mage looks very simplistically drawn, I think. Wolfgang looks like 12-ounce mouse. Luminous is not here. He's gone to Bali. That means I was too lazy to draw him. He's so bad. I was so lazy I couldn't even bother to draw Luminous badly. And Chef Pepperjack, he's based on Legends of Chamberlain Heights, where the sketching is also all over the place. Where's Tech? Now over here we have a broccoli guy doing this realistic mouth thing. This is a reference to a very old animation called Clutch Cargo, where they have these animation cells and they have this part where they have the characters talking with the lips moving, with the realistic lips. And it's also very limitedly animated. This was poked fun of in several shows, like The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Family Guy, and even an incredible short poked fun of that. And it was also the same thing they used for the Annoying Orange, and I decided to put my own take on it. So here's everybody walking just like that. They're so poorly animated. Some are tweens, some are just like that. That one's the only one that's had some bits of animation. Everybody else, it means everybody else. I intentionally misspelled it in the cloud, and I also misspelled it. This picture of Malefor is so bad and offensive that he must be censored. Kind of like how Muhammad is in South Park. We are saying the difficulties. Please stand by. This is another one I had a bit of fun doing. Let's see, what are the ending results of the characters? Reused from Fantastic Presents and Where to Find Them. Gulper is eating both Luminous and Nightshade. Golden Queen melted. Painette and Chef Pepperjack's heads are merged. Chompy Mage is having the Dreamcatcher as his puppet. And Chaos is like, don't worry, I'm not beaten yet. I'm not giving out to that hog-faced iguana. Amber, what are you doing simping over Spyro? She's Cinder's boy. That is, if it wasn't for me making Spyro asexual. So now it's time for the Skylanders to get up, and I drew almost every core Skylander about to fight against Malefor. Only exception is Donkey Kong, Bowser, and the dragons. I'm saving those later, and even I also included my own Skylander retakes of the classic Spyro characters as well. We're ready when you are, Spyro. Push that button. So Spyro. Now this is the only one that's actually animated completely by somebody else. In this case, it's Mixopolis, and this is the animation he presented. And all the characters are like that. And so to make this bit more interesting, I added in some trailer music, some stock trailer music, where I had the do 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 do. Now, I didn't include which character is based on which because some of them I never heard of before. Some are definitely familiar. Like earlier, you saw over here we got Sonic Boom looking like Iago, and earlier we had Boomer looking like SpongeBob. But aside from that, I'm confused on which others. Well, Malfoy looks like he's got no scratch on. There's everybody all bottled up, all stacked up. As the present, uh-oh, something's happening to the gift. It's starting to malfunction. Kaboom! And it's completely broken. Fine. Uh-oh, looks like Malefor's on the move. Pop Fizz is being eaten by Rollerball, by the way. Okay, dragons, you're up. Donkey Kong, Bowser, barricade the door. Now, somebody said that perhaps Bowser can fight off against Malefor. He said he can grow big. He can stop Malefor no problem. I'm like thinking to myself, this is a purple dragon. I think his hammers is gonna get his shell is gonna get seriously hammered by that dragon. Are you sure about that? So Echo gets the big bubble. She starts blowing it like bubble gum. And these characters, they start to add in their own flavors to the bubble. Oh, Cinder and Zap have lightning. Drobot and Rowan add in some color to it, making a rainbowish effect. Sunburn and Camel add some flame to it. Oops, that rock looked a little something. With Bash and Flashwing adding their own rock hardening stuff. And another yin yang for Black Cat and Spotlight. Johnny Appleseed. I think I nicknamed High Five as Johnny Appleseed when I was playing Skylanders Trap Team, but because he has the ability to use apples, just like Johnny Appleseed. And then Blade gives him, Blade says, are you sure? Don't cut yourself. He said, my skin is impenetrable. Referencing Skylanders Academy, where Spyro is indeed immune to fire breath and stuff. He's immune to bomb explosions. And he eats the blade, like how Gopher eats the summer squatch. I even used that same sound effect. Okay, DK and Bowser, let him in. And I got this idea. Oh, hello and goodbye from the SpongeBob SquarePants episode Sandcastles in the Sand. And then he starts bleeding, and sorry if I gave people epileptic seizures on this part. And it seems Ripto's alive. He's just all bandaged up. He looks okay, except for a black eye and a headache. You might want to stand here and... No, not this time. I'm just gonna stay right here and, But no buts. Yeah, I'm going to... Oh, he's still flinching. So, Trigger Happy just roasts a hot dog. Should have made it a bit more brown. So is everything alright? The house looks destroyed, but nope, he's still there. Oh dear, looks like Malefor is unstoppable. There's no way we can defeat him. And it looks like it's curtains for me. And Cinder actually literally gave him curtains for his present. If you're truly going to be Cinder's girlfriend, you would give her a better gift than that, right? So here I am cutting a piece of that cake, gets it out, and now he eats it. And then he gets a flatback a la Ratatouille, his plank. There's my Rhino and Dow, my characters, and over here is Rubber Chicken. I think that's Boneless from My Little Pony. He's Cheese Sandwich's guy, Cheese Sandwich, voiced by Weird Al Yankovic. There's also the Tommy Bear, common Easter egg in Ed's World. There's that lamp, that's the Luxo Jr. from Pixar. And just a stick. He's got some little cake. And it looks like baby Spyro. This must be his parents. You're probably wondering, what did they truly look like? And then he looks, and he eats it. Huh, why does Malefor like my cake? So Spyro decides to try the cake on for himself, and it tasted like manure. You want the cake? It's yours. Says you're probably wondering, when did Malefor have the taste for feces? Well, he's an evil dragon. He has the taste for anything that's crap. So, what did he give to Spyro? The elemental gauntlet with all the gems attached. But why? Let's just say he's unable to wear it himself, so he has no use for him. Interlopers and Spyro and Ripto is nearly dead but still moving. This bit was inspired by how Toffee was defeated in Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Even the last line is like, you don't get to ruin Spyro's birthday. I do. Me. Only I know how this all turns out. It turns out you're dead. Add, ruin everything. Add, ruin everything. And he dissolves. Turns out you're a little cuckoo in the head. And these were all the Crash Bandicoot characters who guest appeared in Skylanders at the time. This includes Crash Bandicoot and Dr. Neo Cortex, Aku Aku Uka Uka, and Fake Crash from the Imaginators, and a Coco in Skylanders Academy, looking like her Academy self. She had an Aussie accent, and she voiced by Tara Strong. And I thought I was close-minded. So here we have Cortex. Cortex is on and off either voiced by me or other people. In this case, it's voiced by somebody else. And I say, he's not my friend, he's my enemy, but today, he is my brother. I got that line from X-Men Next Dimension, the video game. After the defeat of the Sentinels and the bad guy, they're like, there shall be no war today, X-Men. Today, we are brothers. And now it's time for Malefor to part ways, and, looks like we won't be buddies for long. Now, some say this isn't... I probably could have done a better job presenting Malefor in this one. Like, he actually does become evil and stuff like that. I'll explain a bit more for why I decided for Malefor to be like that later on. Just be patient. But if he wasn't for Malefor, if Ripto didn't make that type of cake, who did? Originally, the cake was supposed to be hemlock berries. You know, hemlocks, they're one of the most poisonous berries in the world. I learned that from Camp Laszlo with the 7 deadly sandwiches. So the hemlock berry cake would be enough to poison Spyro. But no, the cake is made of cow crap. So who made the cow crap cake? Is there something you're not telling me? Well, it's a funny story, really. A flashback with the Ed and Eddie title music. And Sugar Happy is just singing his own version of the truck driving song by Weird Al Yankovic. An instrumental has been sampled. I was able to get my hands on it, and I did a little parody of it. And rolling down a highway until the break of dawn. Driving a truck with my high heels on. And suddenly he accidentally turned around and the cake flung, and it landed on some hay. Don't worry, it's still in one piece. And then it was abducted by aliens. This is referencing Bolt, where the abduction was completely out of nowhere, and Rhino was like, that is totally unrealistic. Even Gilgrunt says it was unrealistic. And then something's happening to the cake. The alien is like really, really starting to do, and then suddenly the silo and the feed and all the cows are all based on the South Park depictions of the cows, the earlier South Park depictions. And then suddenly something's happening with their bellies. I got an idea. And that's how it happened to the cake. So good. I did a little Simpsons reference. What? Why, you little? And then Cash is spending the cakes. He's got everybody a Wampa cake. Everybody gets a Wampa cake. Oh well, don't worry, Trig. Your punishment will be postponed for another day. So there's the Wampa cake. Aw, thanks, Crash. So everybody has a Wampa cake. I always thought Wampa fruits were like mangoes, but the insides are purple. So here's an extra letter for Spyro. Now, who could be sending me this letter? The beginning. So he reads the letter. It's a letter from fans. How can you get all the letters and we don't? Well, even if it wasn't my birthday, it's my world and we're all living in it. A line from Milo Murphy's Law. Milo Murphy also being voiced by Weird Al. In fact, there's a lot of Weird Al stuff related in my animations. What can I say? I'm a huge fan of Weird Al. And 2 more years, sorry for the delay, because this was finished in 2020. And this credit bit here, I got some folks who did some fan arts as it was also part of a competition. And I even said, the song I use is a cover of Ocean Man. It's a parody called Dragon Man. The instrumentals were performed by somebody else, but I did the lyrics. It was called Dragon Man, the important being to all the Skylands that you understand. And believe it or not, this was inspired by a little trend that was going on around 2017 to 2018. And I think it's still being done to this day, where people have go in the credits and add in Ocean Man, like it makes everything. Like Ocean Man makes everything better, like in the Emoji Movie. Ocean Man makes it better. Gravity Falls is ending credits, finale credits. That's like Ocean Man. I even did one with Star vs. the Forces of Evil's credits of Cleaved. So for this one, it was Dragon Man, and these fan arts, they're all based on they're all part of a competition where I asked to draw at least 30 different fan arts and have them all in the different themes, like have Spyro with Skylanders of other elements, some classic characters, and some other type of characters present that are related to Skylanders, or even Spyro and Crash, like Ratchet and Jack and Dexter and stuff. And so yeah, this is pretty much my some of them are actually drawn by some users that I've lost touch with, because let's just say some secrets about them have been revealed that I don't want to be a part of anymore. So sorry about that. So I kept my distance from them. So here's everybody. Here's the characters playing from Ocean Man. Trap Team Portrait and hardware stuff. And keep in mind, I made this shortly before the pandemic happened, and I was about to head straight for stuff, and then the pandemic had me thinking a few things. Like it's when I decided to get my monetization back. Had it for a good 2 years, but then I was demonetized. And then by the way, you see those these two characters? That's Tarklops and Sunshine. They based on the Scrap Skylanders. And then there's over here is Bruiser Undead and Wrangler Fire. And they didn't appear, but the other one, Blaster Tech, who's the rabbit, he does appear. These are supposed to be Skylanders for Skylanders 7, but they were replaced with Crash Bandicoot The Insane Trilogy instead. I mean, I did include some Scrap Skylanders in the other one, but I didn't bother to include the others. And by the way, this is not the final part, actually. I have another part coming up. And this video is also dedicated to Steven Hillenberg, who passed away in 2018, the same year as the 20th anniversary of Spyro. And Uncle Darren James Waller, he helped set up my microphone. And he's also, at one point, he once owned a recording studio, and I used to be part of that recording studio for a bit. until I moved to England. And Uncle Isaham Chidan, who was one of my uncles, he's the one that brought me Skylander Superchargers from England. If it weren't for him, I had to delay. He used to be a good friend of my mom's for a bit, but then we fell out for a bit. And then we went in touch again when he had cancer, and then that's when he passed. Oh dear, here's an ad. Now, like I said, this is not the final ending. I have 2 more types of endings. First is the Double Dragon Decking Epilogue, where I have Spyro. He's just wondering what to do. The place is a mess, so he needs to volunteer some Skylanders. But some of the others, they just vanished, and it's only just Gilgrunt, Trigger Happy, and Eruptor. So who gets to clean up? Is it Trigger Happy, Gilgrunt, or Eruptor? Let's go with Gilgrunt. And it says here, he's cleaning up some rubble, and it's 11. So what does he do while he's cleaning up? It's the reality gizmo that got destroyed. So what happens? It gets shocks, and now he's all paper, just plain paper. What's happening? And here I am just thinking about what to do. Coming up with some ideas is very hard. And he's like, wait, what? And then he starts, I start throwing it away, and I just throw it into some trash cans. Because I was like, boy, am I running out of ideas. Let's head back to the Double Dragon Decade, a 2-parter again. Where is it? Here it is. Let's go with Trigger Happy. He says, you folks have no respect for me. So he tosses the garbage and the thing. Suddenly it starts to glow. What's going on? Yeah, reality gizmo thing. Something tells me I'm not going to give Spyro any more presents. And then it starts to glow. And here's my room. Well, this is what my room used to look like before I bought some more boxes to keep the Skylanders from collecting dust. Because after several years, the Skylanders have been collecting nothing but dust since 2016. And there's a giant Chompy. Believe it or not, that puppet is not really a Chompy. It was actually a puppet from IKEA, and I just happened to buy it because it looks a lot like a Chompy. I don't know who actually designed it, but it looks really cute, so I bought it. And I did some additional puppetry on those parts. And we go with one more. Let's have Eruptor take out the trash. He says he enjoys taking up litter because they can eat it. Suddenly, it's that Dismo thing. He's glowing really bright. And then Eruptor, he's in someplace else. It's like, say, what's happening to me? Suddenly something's happening. You look behind him. Mother! It was the alternate reality sequence was animated by Raccoon Rampage. And that's about it, really. That's the Double Dragon Decade for you. But it won't. But we continue on from that day with. But after that, it's not the last of the gems thing. Next stop will be the Sky Wars holiday setup. I won't do on Skylanders University, but I definitely will do so with the Sky Wars holiday setup as a part 1 of my Sky Wars commentary series. But first I need to do the other Sky Wars first. It'll take me some time though, but thank you for joining me. I'll see you all in the next commentary. I hope you've enjoyed this video.